John Piper with the Tuesday video, and it's Tuesday the 25th of April. Looking here at a monthly chart of gold. I thought I'd do an in-depth look at gold today, and silver in fact. These are the key markets right now, as you know, the ones I'm following most closely. We saw this very large move up in gold between 2000 and about 2000 up to 2012. We did catch quite a nice triangle, I think in 2009. I think it was there, in fact, much more obvious on the shorter term charts, weekly or daily, and that was one of my big calls at that time. In fact, that's really when I got sort of interesting gold. I wasn't too bothered beforehand, but we caught this right. We stayed long, in fact. We're a bit slow getting out, but it was obviously a good trade. From there we got an A, B, C. Now that could extend. It's not impossible. We've got a 4 here. But it does seem quite impulsive, so there's a reasonable case this is a new impulsive action, new bull market. This is a 55-month moving average, and you see it caught the bull market quite nicely, and it's just gone straight up from that point, with this just trading below. That's quite a nice average to use, in fact, if you want to stay positioned long term. We then broke below it here. It was retested a few times. You can see the spikes there. And we're now retesting it again. So the market's moved up and we're seeing spikes above it, but so far there's been no acceptance above that on a monthly basis. So the current level is around 1300 level, 1270, 1300, and 1300 certainly is a key level for gold. So that's certainly what we want to see gold attain. We want to see acceptance above 1300 to confirm that this is a new bull market, or reconfirm if you like, either. Right, a quick look at the weekly charts, just for completeness really. This is like an A, B, C down to there, and I guess you call that a fourth wave in first, but which must be rather alarming. This then be a corrective move. Even if it's a corrective, we should perhaps see a C wave up to there. This is a 55-week moving average. I don't think it's terribly relevant, although it's, I guess almost any average has something to say. It has been documented a few times. Quite a good spike there, actually. Resistance here, moved above it, retested, broke through, banging head above it. It's now above it slightly, but again, don't count that as being too significant. So on to the daily, I think. 200-day moving average, I think, is the one most people watch. I think the 55-month is probably a better one for staying with positions. Maybe the 200 days better for entering positions, or just monitoring what's going on. Well documented, you see that move there, resistance there. It's now broken through on gold. So the current level is around 1250, I think is the key level. A small break below there, so I think 1240, 1250 is the level I'd rather it held, because it may not choose to do that. Having broken through, a retest is quite likely. This tends to happen quite a lot. Not always, but it's something that can be expected. We're certainly seeing a bit of a pullback, but then it's not surprising given the 55-month around this level here. 1300 is certainly the key level. We want to see acceptance above 1300, and we could then see a substantial move, maybe 500 points or so. So that's a time maybe when one should use options, spread betting. One wants to be positioned for that move. And I think it's coming within the next couple of months, probably. By the way, you may hear this again. I've actually I failed to record something. I'm not quite sure what I recorded, what I didn't record. So if you hear that again, I apologise. All right, onto the shorter-term chart. All right, having said that, this is an ABC, A wave, B wave. This could be one of C, and we've got an A, B, C. So there is a possibility here of quite a strong sell-off if we go down below 1265. So we could see another move. That could just be the retest. It may not go much further than that, but I think there's certainly potential there to go lower. And I'll be reassured to see the market above here. And there's of course this gap between here around 1283 and here. So we had an attempt to close the gap there, which failed, which is another negative. So right now, I think the odds favour the market going a bit lower, and it could go, let's say, 1240, 1250 would seem to be a possible level. We could see a sort of 1, 2, then a 3 of a similar length to 1, which is about 23 points again down the 50 level. and we could then see a 4 and a 5 in fact. So this could last a little bit longer, but the overall pattern looks good. It's just a question of how long it takes to unravel. By the way, I will be discussing gold and silver and cryptocurrencies when I talk on the 6th of May at the Connaught Rooms as part of the Round the Clock Trader session that day. There are free tickets on the weekend link if you're interested in coming along. Please come and say hello if you do. Alright, silver, this is the monthly chart, 55 month moving average. So we've got this breakthrough there, retest there, breakthrough here, and now we're testing it again. So this is clearly a key average around the 1940 level. You know, I think that's the point at which you could see a substantial breakout from here. And again, we've got the same scenario. On gold, there's the wave pattern suggests a move of $500, so quite significant. On silver, this is a wave 1. I go to the monthly chart. That is a fairly huge move, $45, well, 10 times. It's probably a better way of putting it. This looks like an ABC. So having seen a 10 times move here, if this is a 1 wave and then we've got a 3rd wave coming, then it could be more than that. So it's quite significant. Whether that actually happens, I don't know. That's what has happened. But certainly, if a 3rd wave is coming in, then I would look to it to take out this peak here. As ever, there's always the question: will it go the other way? And it might do. You know, there are no certainties in markets. You can never be absolutely 100% sure of anything. You know, what's important is not what markets do; it's what you do in any given situation. The markets, we obviously have no control over markets, so it's important to get our own strategies correct, because we can't predict markets. We can only behave in a certain way, which gives us an edge, and make money that way. I mean, ignore the weekly chart; doesn't have much to add, but the daily chart and the 200-day moving average is relevant. This looks a fairly correct move: A, B, C, B, maybe a C wave. So the 200-day moving average provides support, clean break. Does that mean retested here and retested here? And we're currently back below it on silver, so that's a negative. However, this looks fairly impulsive. It looks like a fairly sharp 2 wave. This also looks like it could be a 5. And it's failed at the this level here, obviously, which is a key support level for now. Sorry, resistance level for now. This doesn't really look over yet. I think there's certainly a case we're going to go lower here. Hard to see where it might stop me. Obviously, there's support here. The same basic parameters. We're looking for a decent buying spike. We're looking to see the previous highs taken out, and for a solid move to come in, which could be fairly explosive. Exactly what might drive that, I don't know. I find that often markets do predict things which then come about for reasons one never expected, but not always, of course. That's not a given. That's just something that does happen from time to time. All right, FTSE. Okay, we had the pattern here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. We caught this fairly well. Looks like it's all a big ABC now. A, B, C, because this move here, which was wave 4, has now taken out the low of wave 1. So let's have a look at it in a longer term context. This is the weekly chart. From the low here in 2016, we had a 1, 2, maybe 3 to there with an irregular 4. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quite a nice count. So that does look like a major peak. So this pattern here, and certainly this rally, has disturbed that pattern. Let's look at it again, the shorter term. Elliott always provides alternatives. I mean, it's not terribly useful when you start getting too carried away with various alternative and obscure counts. But that's a 1, that's a 2. I mean, that could be a 1 and a 2. But I mean, it doesn't look like a 2, and I think we just have to monitor this and see when it phases back in. I find all techniques phase in and phase out. Right now, FTSE is phased out, so wait and see how that develops. This is the weekly chart of the DAX. We saw an all-time peak there back in 2015. Now exceeded that slightly. This is an ABC. In inflation-adjusted terms, this is not above the previous high. Obviously, in actual terms, it is. This looks like an ABC. A, B, C. This could be a B. So this move here could be a final C wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be in the 5th of that final C wave. That count is not fixed. It depends on what happens at this point here. Let's go down a leg. All right, following on from the weekly chart I just showed you, from this point here we had an A, B, C, then a B, then an A, B, C correction. We've now got a 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could see a 5th wave around 12,500. Don't want to be too precise, but we should get a clearer estimate of that as this progresses. So the DAX could actually peak in the fairly near future. Whether that's a major peak, as per the count I just told you about, an irregular ABC, or a minor peak remains to be seen. Have to judge that when he comes in, but I think there certainly is potential for quite a solid sell-off once we get into the 12.5 level, which is where I expect to see something interesting develop. Right, on the Dow, we've got a flat correction, which I discussed in the weekend report. ABC flat in the sense it's pretty close to the low there. Not spot on, but close. We've now got a 1, 2, 3. ABCs can become bigger ABCs, so that is one count here. If the DAX due to peak around 12.5, then resistance here around 29 could be something important on the Dow at the moment. Right, just a quick note on cryptocurrencies. I have expanded my range of investments and bought a few others. So I now have most of my cash in Bitcoin, but there's some Ethereum, Ether, Dash, Zcash, Pink, Dogecoin. I actually bought 1 million Dogecoin, as they're quite cheap. And what else? Gaming. There's one or two others. If you're interested, drop me an email. I'm happy to, or give me a buzz. Happy to have a chat about that, as it's an interest of mine. Anyway, on that note, I'll call it a day. I found that interesting and useful. Quite a long report, but quite a lot of good stuff, I think. Well, feedback is always welcome. Have a great day. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.